of being habitable.
But it doesn't
Okay.
achieve a new function.
Sure, it does. I mean,
It, it,
the
it,
same way that the Earth has the new function of being habitable by organic life. The asteroid belt now has the function of stably orbiting the sun in an interesting and incredibly unlikely arrangement of rocks and stones. So basically, what I'm getting at here
well,
is
I
that
want to
there
answer. I
seems to
want
be.
to.
Sure, go ahead.
That's a description. It's not a function.
Could you clarify the difference for me?
Okay, when you like, let's say you had a chance compilation of 1,000,000 bits. Well, you can describe those. That's not a function. That's just a description of 1,000,000 bits.
Sure.
That's what the asteroid belt is. It's not a new function. It's just a description.
So no functions are descriptions.
You can describe a function, but there are descriptions that are not functions.
Okay, so how would you describe the function of the Earth's early atmosphere to me?
Well, up until life existed, it didn't have much of a function.
Okay, so you would just describe it as not having a function. When would you say that you are able to describe a function of the Earth's atmosphere?
When when life is capable of existing.
Okay, so the Earth's atmosphere attained that function when you are able to describe life arising on it.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, do you see I'm getting at here? That it seems like this distinction between descriptions and functions is a little bit fuzzy because the function of life appearing on the Earth, you described it to me. You made a description out of it. It seems to me like in your mind, a function is only something that is somehow beneficial or interesting to
Well,
you.
let
I
me
mean,
let me let me define function in greater detail.
Okay, well, you can define it in light of this question. What, in your mind, is the difference between the functionality that the Earth exhibits and being hospitable to life, and the functionality that the asteroid belt exhibits in being an interesting astronomical phenomenon?
Right. Okay. There's a big difference. Um, in order for something to have a function, it has to have this property where um, uh, mass A, B, C, and D, a whole string of masses, have to be arranged in a very specific order. And if they're not arranged in that order, then we don't get the new property.
Like the asteroid
Moreover,
belt.
moreover, what we see is like 10, 20, thousands of different objects acquiring new, this is called holism, acquiring new properties after they're arranged in a specific order, and then it happens again. Now this requires planning, foresight, and knowledge. You can't just get this through chance.
See, I'm not sure how you would justify that assumption.
You would justify this assumption because there is no there the asteroid belt, it doesn't acquire a new function. It doesn't really achieve anything new.
Right. See, I'm still caught up though on what
Or,
really determines a new function versus just a new property. I mean, it seems from the account that you just offered of functions versus descriptions, we're still that's a little bit unclear on that point.
okay, where
Time is winding down here, so I think that we might
we
just
still
have to
got we
let
still
that.
got 2 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Let that point slide. So from what I can gather, it seems like the interaction between the mind and the brain is not entirely clear. Um, so what I'm going to ask you about instead is digestion. Do you think that digestion is immaterial or material?
Material.
You think that digestion is material?
Yes.
If you opened up somebody's gut, where would you locate digestion?
Well, it's a function, and I believe the function was arranged by an intelligence. Um, it's just a description. It's the same thing. If you look at a statue, it's just an arrangement of particles. It's
Right.
just
Oh, okay. So wait. It's a description or it's an arrangement of particles? Is digestion physical or non-physical?
digestion is a description. The actual stomach is physical.
Right. So you would never see digestion anywhere in a gut if you froze it at some point in time.
No.
You would only see a physical arrangement.
Right.
But you would say that digestion then is a description of a procession of physical events.
That have to be intelligently designed. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just stipulate to this whole ID thing because I think it's off subject. So you would say that digestion is supervenient upon the physical phenomenon in the gut.
Well, I don't want to use a term that I'm not really aware of, but I'll say that digestion is a description of the gut.
So you do not believe in an immaterial digestion force.
No, no.
Why do you not believe in an immaterial digestion force?
It's the same reason why I don't believe that a statue is an immaterial statue force. Digestion is a description of the stomach, but the stomach was the result of an intelligent intention.
Okay, and so as time winds down here, I would say that that the chief disagreement between us is that I think that the mind is a description of physical brain states in the exact same way that digestion is a description of physical gut states.
Okay. Okay, do you want to go for round two, or do you want to...
Yeah, let's do a round two.
Okay, let's do a round two. Okay, the time's 47 minutes, so 47 plus 15 is 62, right?
That's correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so we'll stop the questioning at an hour and 2 minutes, and then you can go for another 15 minutes. Okay, so let's just take up the debate from where we left off with the digestion versus mind metaphor. I'm not positing that digestion it acts, it makes choices, but I am positing that the mind makes choices and it acts.
Sure.
Now I want to go. Actually, I think it'd be better if we go back to where we left off. Why you think it's logical to believe that law and chance can give rise to a third force which can choose?
Well, okay. Let me see if I can rephrase this. So, in our universe, you don't just have law and chance. You also have law and chance and matter. Would you agree?
Yes. Well, no. Hold on. Everything that moves is the result of law and chance. Matter doesn't move by itself. It has to move either due to chance or law. Would you agree with that?
Well, I would say that matter moves as a result of force, which in turn is caused by other matter. Yes.
And forces are law-like, correct? Well,
most of the ones that we know are law-like. Most of the ones that matter for this debate are law-like. Yes, I think that there are certain quantum, I wouldn't even call them laws, but there are certain quantum bizarrities that happen that are not quite best described as law-like. But for now, yes, I will stipulate to that.
But you also believe that certain particles also move by chance.
Yeah, and again, that I think is something that's more consigned to the realm of the quantum weirdness.
Okay, now, if you believe this, then where does this mind force come from?
Right. Okay. So let's say that you want to explain. Okay, what's some function of the mind that really trips you up on this question? So I'm not sure I'm explaining my answer.
Okay.
Right?
Well, let's take language. Let's take language, for
language.
instance.
Okay. So let's suppose that that there's a possible state of matter in which you have equipment that can receive particles and equipment that can send particles. Let's call them ears and mouths, just hypothetically speaking. It seems like if there were some further arrangement of that matter, such that that the ears and the mouths that exist in the universe would be able to swap particles in a way to cause new understandings in each other, to rearrange the particles of their brain. Such that new thoughts occurred, say the thought of look out behind you, or the thought of this is my name and this is somebody else's name. I think that if you stipulate that arrangement of matter is more conducive to perpetuating that particular state of matter than its contrary, then that answers your question.
Okay. Well, how do these? You said it was a mind in the ear or something.
The eye in the ear.
Okay, repeat the sentence about how the mind and the ear understand or something. Just
okay, sure.
repeat
So
that
I would
sentence.
say that, and I don't want to get off topic here too much, but the primary function or reason that we have language is for causing understanding in each other's minds. And what I mean by to cause understanding is to cause a certain mental state, a